The following is a special presentation of Extreme E-Speed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and E-Speed.
Welcome, race fans. It's another Tuesday night here at I-55 Speedway. We got Hometown Heroes night. We're going to kick it off with the UMP Modifieds. We'll follow that up with the 305 sprints, and then the 360 sprints will close out our evening. So we're back here at I-55. We got a little special treat for you tonight. During our Icon Sim Sports pre-race show here, we've got John Hine out on the track in our new coast-to-coast E-Extreme driver car. It's just he's out there. That way he can give us some feedback of what's going on and tell us what the track's like. John, how you doing out there?
All of a sudden, I'm in a hornet's nest between teammates and Nick, who did this beautiful pace scheme. This E-Speed TV coast-to-coast. Whoa, and here I am dinging it up. That's not going to make Nick happy. Car, and it's just gorgeous, and now Steven's got to hit me. So, but I'm going to tell you right now, this track is slick and a handful.
Right on. Well, I tell you what, they've been out there running on it for about a half an hour. I know they're going to do some track prep here in a little bit, and that'll freshen it up for us. But man, this has been a great series so far. Whoa, there's Nick. You almost popped Nick with a new paint job.
Yeah, and that's the challenge on this track. You saw how quickly I had to react to it, and you've almost got to have those kind of, reactions. It is so tough here. You've got to look ahead in the corners. I mean, I'm into the corner, but I'm already looking at corner exit, and you've got to do that all night. I'm the only one out here now, but this track, as you see, is it's slick here, and one of the things these guys are going to struggle with tonight is the line getting in here. If you take the wrong lines into the corner, like I'm going to slow down here since I'm the only one on the track. well, heck, I don't want to hit the brakes, but you've got to enter up here because if you enter any lower and want to, like, let's say slide up here in the middle of the corner, you hit this wall. There, look at that really thin line of dirt. There's not much there to catch the cars themselves, and these guys are pulling back out on the track, so I don't think they want me in their way. But up here on this end, you can see there's a much wider strip of dirt. So over here, so the slide jobs we see tonight, I think are going to be more prevalent in 3 and 4.
Well, the last couple weeks, John, we've seen somebody go down low and make that bottom line work later on tonight.
Yeah, and Tater comes to mind. He's in the house tonight. Um, I don't know how he does that, but he and Terry Landis are a couple of the guys that are really good. And that is just a matter of driving it in and getting down here, keeping your left side tires on that tack and getting good runs down the straightaways. Using the brake a little bit to set the car, get it to rotate right back out and right up the bottom here. You can make really good time down here, but you have to be very, very disciplined. And if you're off a little bit, like just up, like even this far, and all of a sudden I got all four tires in the slick, when you fire off, you're going to just spin the tires more than you're getting any grip, and that's going to slow you down. Your car might stay straight, but I promise you, the stopwatch is going to tell you you're going much slower.
Absolutely. I was looking at the speed chart from practice, and we've got Tater Williams on top of the board with a 13:02. Brandon Templeton's right there in second. Kurt Schatzer, Pat Boyce, and Steven Spies is fifth. Um, Again, very competitive field of cars. Times are tight. The small track bunches us up.
Yeah, it does. And keep in mind too, some guys got into the server late. Like by the time I got into the server, this track was burnt up, so I had no chance of getting a lap time. When we roll the qualifying here in a minute, that's when these guys were going to see who has what, and I think they just advanced it. So that's when we're going to see who really has what.
Right on. Well, thank you, John, and thanks, Nick. Great car. We're going to roll right into our ABR setup shop qualifying. And we'll see if we can get down in them low 12s again and see what happens here with qualifying, John.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And I can actually pull out here still. I haven't DQ'd myself. And if you want, the heat races, what we just saw was a slick track. That's what you're going to see at the end of the features. Roger and the crew here at C2C have made a decision to kind of work the track just like your local short track. Right now, this is what we would deem a heavy track. It's very kind of slimy, it's fresh. What we'll do is we'll kind of rework a little bit, keep it where it doesn't slick up to what we just saw. But here in the heat races, you saw me just a second ago slick up against that top wall on the outside. Well, these heat races, these cats are going to be fighting for this inside wall down here. This is where they're going to want to be. They're going to want to be down here at the bottom. Aim this car in and just really, really hook it. And as you see our heat races progress first to second heat, you'll start to see them come off this wall and start working their way up against that other wall. And that's what to look for, I think, in these heat races.
Well, it looks like we got Brandon Templeton with a 13:05 on the top of the board. Tater Williams is out on there getting his lap in now. He was fast in practice. He's setting fifth right now. He is not going to be happy with that. 13.17. He is going to roll off fifth. One thing to remember with these as we wrap up qualifying, um, we invert top eight. So it looks like we got enough cars for, I think, 3 heats tonight. So we'll be inverting what? 12 cars will be inverted in the front of those heats.
Yeah, and in these heats, is so important. I know that. Okay, you want it. I operate on a checklist. My first one is to make it in the invert, so I'm in the top four. My second thing on my checklist is to get it in the A. But while getting into the A, the more cars you pass and closer up to the front, if you win, obviously in the first heat, you're on the pole. So you want to make sure that you have to pass as little amount of cars as what you can. We saw Steven Spies come from a little ways back. last week to take the victory. So you can pass here, and you can work your way through the field pretty easy.
Zach Chapman's out getting his lap in. Looks like he's the last qualifier. He's going to end up 11th with a 13.26. Nice paint job on that car. I think Zach does his own wraps.
Yeah, VMR helps, has done a couple of his and whatnot, but yeah, Zach does a lot of his own work. He does a really nice job.
All right, we're going to roll into our first heat race. All right, we've got Chris Elvey and Steven Spies on the front row with Kurt Schatzer and Brandon Templeton in row 2. Pat Boyce and Zach Neubauer in row 3. This first heat race is brought to us by Magnum Race Designs.
So exciting to see these cars back on the track every week here. They just put on such a good show here at this track.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the UMPs. I know there was a lot of discussion about them before the season. I'm really happy we got them out here.
Yeah, me too.
Stephen King Foundation pace truck out there pacing the field. They'll be pulling off as we come down into turn 3. Who's your pick? I'm going to go with Steven Spies.
Well, you saved me because I don't think you wanted me picking him. I'm going to go with Kurt Schatzer there on the inside of row 2.
Green flag.
And they fire off. Steven gets a nice jump right in the middle of the track. Chris Elvey's coming off the bottom. Nice battle for second. We got a 3-car battle going on there. Kurt Schatzer underneath.
Yeah, both those Icon Sim Sports teammates with Schatzer and Templeton, both on the bottom, working their way up here into second and third. And it's kind of cool, that 52 machine of Neubauer. Well, he's running, I guess you could say, the boss's paint. You know, Kenny Schrader is one of the owners here at I-55, and he runs a car that looks an awful lot like that Ford 52 car.
Steven continues to lead him around. Templeton's starting to put some pressure on Schatzer. He's moved up a little bit. Brandon's running a little bit higher. Here we go on our final lap. Nice battle. They've closed up on our leader.
Yeah, they really have. And now Schatzer's up high and Templeton's low.
Nice race. Steven Spies, Kurt Schatzer, and Brandon Templeton, your top 3. We'll move into heat race number 2. And that is brought to us this week by 21 Designs. All right, starting on a poll, we got Zach Chapman, Randy Shreves, Tater Williams, Blake Chapman, Bob DeGood, and Andrew Smith in row 3.
Well, Andy, I think I'm going to pick Tater, you took my guy last one. And Nick, you're still up here. Who do you like in this one?
Let me look at the field real quick. I'm going to have to go with Randy Shreves.
I'll take Zach.
All right.
Green flag.
All right, they're going to fire off from 4. Randy and Zach take them down into 1. Zach's got the preferred line down the backstretch. Tater Williams with a nice move up into 2nd.
Yeah, Tater's already going. Oh, I don't know if there might have been a little contact there. Maybe neck coat or something, the way Shree's car just took off. If we can bring Nick in here for just a second. Nick, you're in the next heat race. What are you seeing right now? What are you learning for your next heat that you're going to be able to apply?
Yeah, looking at the track, I've seen the guys in the first heat ran the bottom, second heat they're starting to run more the middle, which is good news for me because I'll be starting on the outside of the second row. So, I'm hoping that the top's there, and if not, try to work my way to the bottom. Tater's always fast anywhere he goes and any car he's in. So, he's running the bottom now. So we'll have to see kind of how it goes as we get to the third heat.
And Zach is holding them off right now, running that little bit higher line there. Just Zach seems to get a little better run out of the corner than what Tater does, but Tater really closes up on corner entry and through the center, Andy.
Yep, we head into our final lap. It's going to be Zach and Tater down the backstretch. He's going to make a run at him, see if he can get underneath him. And he's unable to. Nice race. Zach Chapman, Tater Williams, and Blake Chapman, your top 3. John, you want to hit our lineup for this race?
Absolutely. Here we are for heat race number 3. It's G.J. Boydell on the pole. Next to him is Terry Landis. Starting in the second row is going to be Jeffrey Barker and Nicholas Vickery. And starting out back in the third row will be Nathan Aldridge and Donovan Ross.
All right, and this heat race number 3 is brought to us by Chip Banger Racing. Tater Williams and the boys. We appreciate them.
I think I'm going to pick Nick here because I always have good luck when I do that.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to take Landis.
Just for the record, anybody listening, I seem to curse, guys. So Nick is probably going to knock the fence down in turn 1 and drive right out to the Mississippi River.
Whoa, wait a minute. I had an EOL on Landis I wasn't aware of. I'm going to take Boydell.
Yeah, Jeff Barker does have a new paint scheme. That is a sharp-looking ride that he's got this week.
All right. That Stephen King Foundation pace truck's going to be pulling in as we head down into turn 3. Greg Boydell's going to fire off. Nick with a big start on the top. Oh, Greg got a little sideways. It's going to open it up for Nick to pull away. We got a couple up into the backstretch wall.
Yeah, that little bit of that slip there by Boydell really cost Jeff Barker. He had to get on the binders not to hit him there, and they did a good job of kind of keeping everybody going in the same direction there. But Nick's got a pretty comfortable lead now, stretching it out to about 2, maybe 3 car lengths here over Greg Boydell. Looks like the real battle is back for the transfer position.
Donovan Ross running in third. Wasn't he our driver of the week last week?
I think he may have been. But right now he is side by side in a dogfight with Jeff Barker. The 2 guys behind him want those spots. we only take the top 4 to the main event. Everybody else has got to go to a B. I do believe we do have a field such everybody will make it tonight, but you still don't really want to go to that B. You want to start as far up towards the front as you can, and these guys here, side by side, 2 by 2 here for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, they are. They're battling.
Ross into the wall.
Ross got in the wall, and he's coming back. He's going to battle in there. Let me see if we can switch
3
cameras
wide.
here.
Look at that, 3 wide.
He's going to battle back and get the transfer spot. Couple moves like that, and he'll be a candidate for driver of the week again.
Yeah, and there Nick Vickery takes the checkered flag, followed by Greg Boydell. Jeff Barker third, and final transfer. Looks like Donovan Ross did hold on to the transfer, but not by much.
All right, we're moving into our B main. Our B main tonight is brought to us by Flatline Racing Bodies. We got Pat Boyce on the pole with Andrew Smith from Canada on the outside, Terry Landis and Zach Neubauer in row 2, and Randy Shreves and Nathan Aldrich in row 3. All these guys are going to make it, but this will determine their starting positions in the feature.
Yeah, and I tell you what, VMR did our pace car, but our kind of our E-Speed coast to coast UMP that I was in a little earlier. But I'm looking at that front row. I'm looking at that 79 there. Andrew Smith, that's a VMR wrap. That is a sharp car. Nick, you did a good job on that one.
Thank you. That purple does look really, really good with that green.
Yeah, it really does. I do like that green a lot.
Hey, John, if you could call the start of this. We got going so
Absolutely.
fast. I'm going to run down and grab us a couple beers and a burger. I'll be right back.
Beer run in the middle of the race. That's about as hometown heroes as it gets. We got you covered, big guy. As they go down the backstretch, Nick, real quick, how did the track feel when you were out there just a second ago?
It felt really, really solid. You know, it'd be interesting to see how it comes, how the track prep goes here in between the feature and the warm up.
Absolutely. As the
Green
pace
flag,
truck is
green
off,
flag.
and we're racing. The field barrels down into turn 1, and still first and second side by side with Pat Boyce and Andrew Smith on the outside in the VMR 79, followed by Terry Landis. Landis in the Crite Sim 61 is got a nice run on the outside there, is looking for second. Now looking to his inside, looks like it's Randy Shreves.
Yeah, like Landis got to the wall there a little bit on the backstretch, cost him a little bit of momentum, but he's able to pull back on the top side going into 1.
Yeah, doing a really good job, these guys. I've seen a lot of guys get a little squirrely or get little mistakes, and guys are getting off of them, you know, to let them gather the car up. We're seeing a lot of really nice give and take here with this field tonight.
Which, I mean, that just says a lot about the league. You know, I know we talk about it week in and week out, but, you know, this league has some of the best drivers, in my opinion, on iRacing. So, you know, if you're looking for a really good place to run and run really any night of the week, definitely come check out Coast to Coast.
Yeah, you can go right to our website at c2crl.com and register, and we got some criteria. Just read through what it is, you know, and come on out and throw some dirt with us. We're a nice community-based league. Everybody is welcome, no matter your skill level. Up to, which I shouldn't say no matter, I think you got to be under 2,500 I rating. So make sure you check out your I rating before you do that.
And it looks like the field now is starting to kind of single file out, and you know you're starting to see kind of where guys are starting to run. So, you know, this week's a little bit different than normal because you know they're doing a little bit of track prep. But you know, in a normal week situation here for us, you know that means that part of the track will get pretty slick pretty fast. But
yeah, and that's going to throw everybody here a little bit because, you know, these guys used to have a little bit of advantage because, you know, they're on the track now and then they can turn around for the main and kind of know what they're getting into. And the guy, let's just say, that qualified in the first heat, you know, was on a heavy track and now he's got to readjust. But now with that reset, and we got a battle for the lead here. Harry Landis
Yeah, that was really, really close coming to the line. It looked like Andrew got it by
but
two 1/100ths of a second.
Yeah, Andrew Smith takes the win. Terry Landis is second. Pat Boyce third. Randy Shrees fourth. Zach Neubauer fifth. And Nathan Aldridge comes home in sixth. And good news, all six are going to transfer over into the feature to give us an 18-car field when we take the green here for the main event.
Well, boys, I'm back.
Did you get my Budweiser? I mean, we are in St. Louis, you know.
Absolutely. Got our cooler filled up. I don't know how I forgot to do that before the event started. Hey, we're going to jump into our warm-ups here. We've got a little bit of time. We're going to throw some commercials up, pay some bills. Me and John are going to eat some dinner and drink a beer. And when we get back, hey, don't forget, folks, the girls are out there pedaling the 50/50s. And we've also got the junior fan club sign up. So get down to the ticket booth and hit that. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
All right, race fans, we're back and they're wrapping up warm-ups. They just hit the 5-minute mark. They'll be pulling off the track. The intermission and pre-race, the warm-ups are brought to us by the Oswegan Speedway. We're going to move right into our featured lineup. John, you want to go ahead with that?
Absolutely. Here we are for tonight's feature lineup for the UMP mods. Starting on the pole in the Gambler Motorsports number 55 is going to be Steven Spies. Next to him in the number 72 Gambler Motorsports machine is going to be Zach Chapman. The 00, that's a VMR car, or not a VMR, that's the wrap company. That is a Spartan entry by Nick Vickery there in third. Outside row is an Icon entry in the 00, I'm sorry, the 218 of Kurt Satzer. In the next row is going to be Tater Williams out of the Chip Bangers stable. Next to him will be Greg Boydell in the Icon stable. Next row, another Icon driver, Brandon Templeton, and next to him is going to be a Kreitz Sim driver, Blake Chapman in the number 20. Next row is going to be the 513 of Jeff Barker and the 13 of Chris Alvey. Next row after that will be Bob DeGood in the number 7 and number 5, Donovan Ross. Next row will be Andrew Smith in the 79. Next to him will be the Terry Landis machine of the 61. 41 of Pat Boyce is in the next row with Randy Shrees to his outside. And the inside, 52 of Zach Neubauer. Next to him is going to be the 514 of Nate Aldridge. And I think the last two that I'm looking at here, we did not I see Preston's name, I see my name, and neither one of us are out there. And we're green. Here we are for our 30-lap feature, and if you notice, Andy, they gave us an extra 10 laps of racing. Remember last week we were calling for it? Well, we got it, and we already got a caution. We have Bob DeGood turned around on the backstretch. Kind of looking back here, it looks like the 13 kind of moved down the track a little bit, gets into DeGood there and turns him around, and then Bob's trying to get that car turned around, and sometimes these dirt cars just don't do what you want them to do.
See that Steve King Foundation pace truck out there, getting them lined up, getting them ready to go. Steven Spies and Zach Chapman on that front row with our in-car reporter, Nick Vickery, in third place. Lights are off, getting ready for a restart. Our restarts are brought to us by Lands of Legends, Raceway TV.
Green, green, green.
Steven with a nice start. Heads it down in. He's going to hug the bottom. Got Zach and Nick right there chasing him around the bottom. Tater setting him fourth.
Oh, close quarters racing between Vickery, Chapman, and Tater. They're coming out of turn 3 just side by side, almost like they were in a parking lot. They keep it green and clean here as they go through. Now Nick goes up to the top. Kurt Schatzer's up there also. See if they can. Oh, we got another incident up there in turn 4. Looks like that's going to involve the 13 again of Chris Alvey. It appears that the 13 kind of overdrove it a little bit into the corner there and got into the back of the 56. There might have been a little checkup in front of him. And, that's one of those things that's easy to do here. Things happen fast. If guys let off a little bit or whatever, you can, that gap between you and them closes rapidly.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Field right now is trying to speed around to catch up to the pace truck.
Yeah, that was one of those times on a short track when you don't want to get lost with the pace truck and end up passing it or something there and get a penalty.
Yeah, and iRacing's, I don't know what the word is for it, but it doesn't always make sense when it comes to where the pace truck is and where you're supposed to be. They're doubled up already here.
All right, they're heading out into Lands of Legends Raceway TV start zone. Steven Speeds with another nice start. Zach's right on his bumper this time. Tater Williams takes it up top.
And Tater's going to move into third there. Is looking for second, running the top up there, just ripping that lip and getting these massive runs coming out of the corners. Spees moves up top there to kind of see what's going on up there, see if this helps Steven keep the lead.
Zach's doing everything he can around the bottom.
Yeah, you have cars, both two lines of cars, one on the top, one on the bottom here. This reset, I think, has helped the racing a little bit from what I'm seeing here. So this is really good side-by-side racing as Tater Williams is now looking for the lead.
Yeah, he got into Steven a little bit coming down the front stretch. That's going to cost him second.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, we got one around. Looks like Jeff Barker coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, looks like he just jumped on the accelerator. A little bit heavy.
Yep.
I'm familiar with that move. I have that in my repertoire.
I think I saw that I think you pulled that move out last Thursday over in the late models, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, right in front of the field. Hey, we got our 50-50 girls out there. I don't have a count on where we're at yet. I know down towards turn 1, Rogers down there says he'll take an arm length for $20. Get down there and get him taken care of. Take his money.
Yeah, Thursday was a lot of fun there. You got to start up front in that race and led some laps in the whole 9 yards. Pretty cool night for you, huh?
Yeah, I actually won a heat race, which is
That's
rare.
right.
Green flag, green flag.
All right, Steven jumps out to about a 3-car length. Advantage over Tater Williams. Zach Chapman's back behind him. Nick Vickery's back there, and it looks like a hornet's nest.
Yeah, it looks like Nick's fighting for his life back there. Kurt Schatzer's got a really fast machine on the bottom, and Nick is struggling on the top. There he is into the wall again. He's going to give up a whole slew of places. Tater's back to the bottom, though, looking for the lead. We saw this move a couple weeks ago. He's back to the top in 3 and 4. You've got a little separation now with first and second. They've got a few car lengths now on Zach Chapman in third. You've got a really nice battle for fourth there between Schatzer and the 20 of Blake Chapman.
Oh, looked like Terry Landis got up in the fence.
Tater caught the fence. Tater caught the wall up in 1 and 2, and that's dropped him back to third, in fact, and that has allowed Steven Spees to get a big lead now halfway through the race.
Yep, he's out in front of him now by over a second.
They're coming up on the lap car of Chris Alvey. I don't think that'll be a big deal for Steven, but these guys behind him that are running. Oh, Steven gets really loose out of turn 2. That's going to allow these guys to close back up, but second through fifth are side by side in this lap car. Things are going to get real interesting here.
Blake got up in the fence. I'm telling you, that top looks really treacherous right now.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys do it. I've either seen them hitting that wall or gassing it up too early and losing the back. But Tater's caught Steven now. Kurt Schatzer's now into the wall. You know, Andy, I think this is going to be one of those races. Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, or you know, I think that's going to be the guy to win this. I mean, it looks like Tater and Steven are pretty even pace-wise, and it's just a matter of hitting your marks and not getting yourself in any trouble.
Tater's going to dive down in 1 and 2, see if he can get anything going down there.
Yeah, and Steven just pulls them out of the corner there, having that momentum.
8 to go. Steven Speeds has led it all the way. Schatzer and Chapman continue. They've swapped positions. Chapman's on the bottom now. Schatzer's on the top.
You know, we're down to 5 to go here. And now the leaders, we haven't had a caution in a while. Leaders are about to get into some really heavy traffic. The leaders are nose to tail here coming out of turn 2 with Tater and Steven.
Williams is applying all kinds of pressure on the back end of Speeds.
Now Tater's starting to try to use that. He's going to slide him.
See what they got here. Steven fights back on the inside. Williams with a big run down the backstretch. Going to try it again.
Andy, I don't know what's going to happen here. We're down to 2 laps.
We're on the final lap. Here they come down the backstretch. They're door to door. Williams on the bottom. He's going to hold it down there this time. And he gets him at the line. What a race. What a race, fans. That was great. Steven's not going to agree with me, but I thought that was a great race.
Yeah, it was. Those guys gave each other room to do those slide jobs, and it's good to see that. And I'm going to consider it a race just because I'm going to let my bias come out here a little bit, but we got 2 gambler guys there in the top 3, so I'm always happy to see that. Tater looks pretty excited.
He should be.
Well, Andy, I'll tell you, what a great race, and that finish, oh my goodness. Yeah. You know, we got 2 more of these yet to go tonight, but, you know, Tater Williams takes the win. Steven Speeds does finish 2nd. Zach Chapman is 3rd. Blake Chapman 4th. Kurt Schatzer 5th. Randy Shreves will be coming home in 6th. 7th will be Brandon Templeton. 8th will be Zach Neubauer. 9th will be Bob DeGood. 10th will be Nathan Aldridge. Coming home 11th will be Terry Landis, followed by Jeff Barker in the 12th spot. 13th is Donovan Ross. 14th is Andrew Smith. 15th is Greg Boydell. 16th, Nick Vickery fell off, was a lap down. I didn't see the trouble he may have had tonight. Coming home 17th is going to be Patrick Boyce. And rounding out the field tonight is Chris Alvey. And right now I am with the 3rd place finisher, Zach Chapman. And Zach, I tell you, first of all, I want to know your take on reworking the track for the feature. What was your take on that, and what did you think?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You know darn right, Steven and I were cursing the idea in the Discord down there, And once we got racing, I'll tell you, no complaints. That was awesome. I mean, I felt like they were a little faster than me on the top, but I mean, there were two grooves. I was almost right there with them on the bottom, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you stayed true to that bottom there, and there was times where I actually thought you were a little quicker because it's probably a matter of you hitting your marks, and I don't know. For me, it's always a little bit harder to hit your marks on the bottom than it is the top, and you did a fantastic job and to do that all race and bring her home third, and you know, maybe next time we'll work it in maybe a little different. We'll have the crew maybe doing a little different. And but that was I tell you, that was the best side by side racing I've seen in a while for these cars all the way through the pack. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean, just to vouch on that. I mean, I'll tell you, you guys probably got a good view, but man, I had the best view in the house for that race for the finish when they were throwing those sliders back and forth. Man, I was hoping they would just make a teeny bit of contact because I was sneaking in there. But boy, what a show! That was a good race to watch.
Yeah, and like I said, you drove a fantastic race, very very good race, and you did it on the bottom. Like I said, I feel like that's more difficult than doing the top, at least for me personally. But anybody you'd like to give a shout out here to?
Yeah, shout out to Aiden, who runs a company, Young Gun Creations, Cool Ray Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, Bright Box Electrical Services. All you guys at Gambler, you and Andy, you guys do a great job in the booth. You too, Nick. I'm not going to forget you. Of course, thank my wife, my dad, and that should do it.
Well, Zach, once again, just congratulations. Great run tonight. Hopefully a transfer the next two races. You're going to race all three tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. We look forward to seeing you in the next round. That is Zach Chapman, our third place finisher in the UMP mods. And now we move into our second place finisher here tonight. Steven, this is John. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, you led a lot of that race, and it was heartbreaking to see you lose it there at the end. But what a race between you and Tater there at the end, keeping it clean and being respectful with those slide jobs. Put me in the seat there and tell me what you're thinking those last few laps.
I don't really feel bad about losing that. Tater drove a great race, put his car in the right spots and got up there. So I'm all good with second. I always certainly want to win, but ultimately he got a run and got a slider on me. And then I think I crossed him over on the next set of turns in 3 and 4 with one of those final laps. And I wasn't exactly sure where he was at going back into 1. So I kind of ran in the middle of the track. And it killed my momentum. Looking at the replay as I've been waiting here, I had room. I could have just gone all the way up to the cushion there and probably gotten a run off of it, but not knowing for sure where his car was, I didn't want to cause an issue for us. So, he just outdrove me, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem being outdriven. Just don't, you don't like it if somebody beats you by moving you or driving rough, but, Tater runs super clean, and I really enjoy racing with him. So hopefully we'll keep putting on these good shows. It's been close the last couple.
Well, I tell you, and I asked Zach the same question here, the track being reworked and whatnot. Just a quick takeaway. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, to be honest, I was complaining and whining about it because I wanted to make sure that the track got to kind of the state it ended up in. So it actually worked out pretty well with everybody running it in during the break. I wasn't expecting it to, but I like it once it gets slick like this. So I was a little whiny and crabby about thinking it was going to be too heavy for the feature, but no, it worked out well. So kudos.
Well, great run here tonight, and one short, but you got to win in a second, so you have to come back, maybe get another win here next week. But anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Did you pick me tonight, John?
No, actually, Andy did in the heat, and I don't think we picked anybody in the feature. So.
Okay, because if I was going to blame the loss on you, but thanks for not picking me anyway, though. And thanks to our Gambler Motorsports team, we have a good time whenever we all get to race together, and thanks to all the folks that put time and effort and money and everything into the league, especially Andy, and got that Cool Ray modified just one spot away tonight.
Well, that was a heck of a show. We look forward to seeing you again. Andy, you had something to add?
I was just going to say, great race, Steven. Proud of you. And You wouldn't have even been in the top 5 if you wouldn't have had that logo on there.
Guaranteed.
You would have been in the top 10 if I'd have picked you.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys.
That's Stevens Pease, our second place finisher in the UMP mods.
I just noticed, John, we got Steven and Zach, both Gambler Motorsports guys there, 2 of the top 3.
Yeah, good night for the Gambler guys here. But now I'm sitting here with Tater Williams. Tater, man, I tell you what a great finish. You kept us on the edge of our seats. I just kind of had to sit back and watch that race there. Walk me through the last few laps and take me, behind the helmet here a little bit and tell me what you were thinking and how you did that.
To be honest with you, the last 5 laps I wasn't really breathing. I was just trying to focus on driving, and I was just trying not to put it in the fence in 1 and 2 mainly, because if I did that, my race was over. Did that a couple times earlier on in the night, but I was just trying to be consistent and be smooth and run him back down, because I knew if I got close enough and had a good run, I could slide him, and ultimately I got a good run and slid him, and I was able to hold him off there that last lap.
Yeah, this second week in a row we've had a fantastic finish for the mods here, and just what a fun car to drive. I know you from driving late models. Do you have a preference between the 2 cars? Because I mean, you're quite frankly you're pretty good in both of them.
Oh, I love the mod a heck of a lot better.
Really?
I'm a more of a UMP guy. Yeah, all day long. I love them.
Yeah, like I said, you're fast in both of them, but I was just kind of curious because the way you wheel that car, it seems like you have an affinity for it. So, but hey, what a great run tonight! Congratulations on the victory. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
First and foremost, Andy Piercefield over at Coolray. Got to thank all my guys back at Chip Bangers Racing, Banging Sets, Combs Cuts, B&B Baits, all the guys in the shop, and you guys for broadcasting the race.
Well, Tater, thank you for a great show tonight. Really enjoyed that. I hope we see you next week, and you won't run the sprints later on, are you?
Oh, heck no. I can't stand a sprint car.
Tater, congratulations, buddy. That was a great race.
Appreciate it.
Tell Perry you're my number 1 guy now.
I could razz you. Will you give in to peer pressure if I tell you to put your big boy pants on and go run the sprints?
Well, what's up next? Is it 360s or 305s?
305s.
Are they fixed?
Yep.
I'll be there.
Right on. There we go.
We pressured him into it. Tater Williams, tonight's UMP feature winner, and now he's going to evidently go steal a sprint car and see if he can double it up tonight. Thank you, Tater.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. All right, we're going to jump into a quick break here. We'll be back in a couple of minutes as we transition over to the 305s.
leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
All right, folks, we're back at I-55 Speedway. We got the 305 sprint cars out there. We got John Hine out there making laps in a new coast-to-coast E-Extreme Speed sprint car. He's our in-car. Well, I kicked him out of the bleachers so I could drink his beer. Oh, he hadn't drank any beer. He hasn't had any beer to drink. He's out there driving. John, what's it like out there in the 305?
Well, I'm driving like I've been drinking. I feel like kind of sliding around here a little bit, but I tell you, this car, if it gets to, the modified, the one thing those guys had, if there's a couple of bumps that get them out of shape, this 305 tends to hit these bumps and it really jerks the car on, especially down here in 1 and 2. I think you're going to see a lot of guys struggle right through there. The car just really wants to jump around. See Nick Vickery, who painted this beautiful car here. So we definitely got to give VMR Wraps a shout out for this car. I suggest everybody go out to Facebook, give them a like, give them a share, even hit them up to get something like this. Just an absolute gorgeous car. But back to driving here. Let's see if I can goad Nick into maybe trying to slide me here. But I think you're going to see a lot of it. There he goes. See the slide, and he'll go up, and I can get a nice run. And usually I'm a little bit closer than that to be able to cross under, but I think that's what you're going to see at that end of the track. Lots of slide jobs. We saw them in the UMP mods, but this is just a beautiful track and a fun track to drive these cars on.
Right on. We got our pre-race show going with the 305s. We got Icon Sim Sports bringing us that. Really like this VMR wrap, and John and the boys over at Gambler Motorsports taking the time to put this sprint car together. So John can go out there and give us some real feedback on what's going on live and in action.
Yeah, and we've even got the admin up here right now, Kevin Fry. Kevin, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Kevin yeah, there you are. Well, Kevin, I tell you, you're driving and adminning tonight, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, you've been racing these now for the last couple of weeks here. Give me a quick overview of some of the challenges that you face maybe a little bit later on when it's money time for the feature.
Yeah, the track usually gets pretty slick top and bottom, and you're going to have to finesse the throttle quite a bit and try to stay off of that back straightaway wall, because that comes out and jumps out at you real quick or real fast when you're trying to run the cushion up top all the way around. So.
Oh, thank you for that insight, Kevin. I knew I just probably caught you off guard. I like doing that kind of thing. But, hey, go get those boys ready for qualifying, and let's get this show going.
Yes, sir.
But, Andy, when they resets it here for qualifying, I'll come back out here, and because right now the way the track is going to be completely different to what they qualify and what they're going to be doing in the heat races.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty burned up out there right now. They're wrapping up hot laps. We're going to move right into qualifying. And our qualifying tonight is brought to us by ABR Setup Shop. Bob DeGood's rolling out there.
Yep, just got strapped in. I'm going to pull right out here.
We got Tater Williams come over, and John put a little pressure on him in victory lane. I don't know if I've ever seen Tater drive a sprint car before.
Oh, I'm such a bad influence. But hey, Andy, I am on the track right now, and if you come and look at the inboard or whatever, you can notice that all that shiny stuff is gone. So when these guys are qualifying right now, real quick, they're just like what I talked about with the mods, all the way down here, right on this wall. I mean, I could put my hand out the side here, maybe touch that wall. The heat race, I think you're going to see, the same thing. First heat race, fighting for this area down here. This is going to be the prime real estate. Get good runs, swing out here to the wall, come right back down in to do it again. But as we progress, heat 2, and you might be up just a little bit further, closer to the wall. And by the end of the night, guess what? You're dealing with this wall out here, and I expect to see that here tonight. A lot of fun. But the neat thing is about reworking the track, the guys are going to be chasing grip all night. They're going to have to continuously chase it, and that should make it a lot of fun for our drivers.
Absolutely. We got Zach Chapman, one of the last guys to qualify. He's out there in that bright box, Gambler Motorsports number 72. Right now it's Blake Chapman on top of the pylon with an 11.6.
Yeah, Blake is a former 305 champion, and he's at the top of the board here. Always a quick, and we heard a little bit from Kevin Fry a little while ago, and he's sitting P3. These guys, and there's Nick Vickery, another 305 champion, jumps all the way to the top, almost up to P2. This should be a lot of fun. Where did Tater shake out? That's my question.
Tater is sitting right now P12 at 11.75. 2/10 off, not bad for not driving one.
I can't wait to see him go around here. I feel like we're witnessing one of those seat swaps. A few years ago you saw Lewis Hamilton and Tony Stewart, swap an F1 ride for a NASCAR ride, and I think we've seen a couple IndyCar guys get in Cup cars and vice versa, and that seemed to be pre-COVID. That seemed like a popular thing to be doing, and I know that I watch Formula One Drive to Survive. I think it was season 1. Kevin Magnussen, who runs for the Haas F1 team, actually went to a dirt track, and because he races for Haas, Stewart, he hopped in a sprint car. So this is why I'm a Kevin Magnussen fan now. F1 driver hopped into a sprint car. It was the coolest thing. Best episode ever.
All right, we got heat race number 1 lined up. Heat race number 1 is brought to us by Magnum Race Designs. We got Andy Patton and G.J. Boydell in row 1, with Kevin Fry and Nicholas Vickery in row 2. Donald Dory and Doyle Lawrence in row 3, with Zach Chapman and Chris Elvey in row 4. Hey, John, I was just watching as I was calling off that lineup. Donald Dory was moving his wing back. These wings adjustable on these?
Yes, they are. You can move them back and forth. Right now, I would probably have that sucker pulled all the way forward. Maybe a little -2. And you're constantly messing with this. I know last night in the Renegades race, I was probably moving my wing back to where it was towards the back of the car all through the race. And what that does is when it's forward, it puts all the downforce on the front tires, increases your speed. And once the track starts to get slicking up, if you want to tighten the car, you can start moving it back. That putting the air out across the back tires gives it more bite on the back and will tighten the car up. So you are constantly moving these things in the car.
Right on. We got Steve King Foundation pace car or pace truck. Looks like the lights are off. We're gonna get ready to fire off here. They're coming down the back stretch. I'll take Andy Patton.
I'll take Vickery.
And they fire off, and Patton in the U.S. Air Force gets a nice run down into 1. Kevin Fry moves up into 2nd.
Yeah, these guys are single file, and right now with the track being heavy like that, you know, it's going to be really line sensitive. You know, one line is going to be the preferred real estate to be in, but as it widens out, you're going to see guys be able to maybe go a little higher than the guy in front of them, maybe even go a little lower to make passes.
Front four running bumper to bumper. Vickery seems to be putting a little bit of pressure on Boydell, and then he slips back a little bit now. Oh, Fry with a run on the bottom.
Yeah, but looking like Patton's able just to keep momentum there. And these cars, you know, are a little bit underpowered with what we're going to see a little bit later with the 360s. These cars is all about keeping your momentum up. It's almost like driving a street stock. You know, you don't want to scrub too much speed. You want to keep as much momentum as you can. And that's how you make quick time with these cars.
Track's getting faster every lap.
Yeah, they've knocked that slimy, you know, heavy dirt off as they getting ready to take the checkered flag here.
Yep, we got Andy Patton with the win.
Yeah, he was followed by, looks like he was followed by Kevin Fry, then Greg Boydell and Nick Vickery, all of whom go to the main event. Zach Chapman, Donald Dory, Chris Alvey, and Doyle Lawrence will all have to go to the B main. And I'm looking here at the car count, and I think everybody should make it here tonight.
All right, we got Joe Canales and Steven Bixler on the front row. Donovan Ross and Blake Chapman, row 2. Preston Cranmer and Nathan Aldrich in row 3. Bob DeGood and Kyle Moonen in row 4. I am going to take Steven Bixler.
Sticking with your cool red car.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm going to go with Blake Chapman here. Blake has shown a lot of pace in these cars, and I think that outside lane may be a little more preferable, but don't sleep on Donovan Ross there, or Joe Canellis for that matter. Joe's on that front row, and Joe's had some good runs I've seen and in some of our matinee races. So Joe's going to be tough here to get that first place away from him.
Lights are off on the pace car as we head down the back stretch. They'll pull that Steve King Foundation pace truck into the infield. We'll look for Joe Canales to fire us off. They're going to fire off on green.
Green, green, green.
There it is. Got a good start. Bixler, a little bit of a lead going down into 1. He's going to go a little bit higher. Oh, and Canales gets into the wall.
Yeah, you can only go so low down there in the corner. That wall will prevent you from getting down there any further. But he's going to have to gather back up now. And, oh, we got a wreck in turn 2. Big one. Ross, and it looked like between Donovan Ross there and Chapman. I'm going to go back and peek at what happened here, Andy.
Oh, and Bixler slaps the wall on the front stretch. He's got a nice lead. Battle for second through fourth is right there. A good battle going on between Aldrich, Moonen, Canellis, and Cranmer. Whoa! And that was our leader. Not sure what happened there. Nathan Aldrich is now our leader. No, Kyle Moonen. While they're going back and forth, good battle for the lead.
Yeah, Kyle is trying to get to his inside there and just not able to make that pass work. Now they're going to get into lap traffic here with 2 to go. Final corner.
All right.
Yeah, Nathan Aldridge takes the win here. Kyle Moon in second. Preston Cranmer sitting third, and Steven Bixler fourth. Those guys will all transfer directly to the A main. Guys that are going to be in the B main here tonight are some big names, Andy. Some really, really big names. You got Donovan Ross, Bob DeGood, Joe Canellis, and Blake Chapman. You got a former champion in there that's going to be relegated to the B main tonight.
All right, we got heat race number 3. We got Tater Williams on the pole with Randy Shreves on his outside. Jack Clevenger and Pat Boyce in row 2. Brian Moore and Jeffrey Barker in row 3. And Andrew Smith and Bill Henry in row 4.
Tater's probably thinking to himself right now, why'd I listen to Hein? On the pole, not all laps in this car. But I bet you Tater will be just fine.
Maybe he's a closet sprint car guy.
Well, he likes the UMP mods. I know some people call those open wheel cars. So, yeah, you know, I think my transfer.
Got the Steve King Foundation pace truck out there pulling him down the backstretch. Tater's making a very deliberate pace lap. Here they come off from turn 4.
Green flag, green flag.
Green is out. Nice even start. Williams crossing them hands up big time.
Tater was swatting flies coming out of turn 2. Good news is he's going to make all the laps here tonight. We heard him earlier, first time out here, and it's he's getting a lesson at school here real quick. But up front, we got Jack Clevenger, followed by Randy Shreves here. Good battle for second, third, though. Second, third, and fourth, that is. Third and fourth are still side by side with Brian Moore and Pat Boyce. They've been this way now for 3 or 4 laps. Both those guys are in transfer spots, so you definitely don't want to get into an incident here and take yourself out of a transfer spot. Back up front, we still have Jack Clevenger up in the lead. Now he's starting to get a little pressure from Randy Shreves. 2 to go.
Good race all the way around. Lap times are getting a little bit faster still, John.
Yeah, these guys are doing a really nice job here, and it's widened out. We're seeing a couple lines working. It's going to be Jack Clevenger at the line, followed by Randy Shreves, Brian Moore, and Pat Boyce, our transfer cars. The guys that'll be heading right now to the Consi that's coming up here is going to be Jeff Barker, Andrew Smith, Tater Williams, and Bill Henry.
Okay, our B feature is brought to us by Flatline Racing Bodies. We got Zach Chapman starting on the pole with Donovan Ross on his outside. Jeffrey Barker and Donald Dory in row 2. Bob DeGood and Andrew Smith in row 3. Chris Elvey rolling off 7th with Joe Canales in 8th. Tater Williams will roll off 9th. Doyle Lawrence to his outside. And then in the rear, we'll have Blake Chapman and Bill Henry. Who you picking, John?
Oh, you got a couple of really fast cats there on the front row, and boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with Zach here. I think Zach's going to be on the bottom here. Zach's really good about running the bottom. I think Zach's going to get this one. How about you?
I'm going to go with Jeffrey Barker. Staying with the military theme.
And we do thank all our heroes that have served. And Jeff is also, not only been able to stay on the military theme, but Jeff's quick too. So definitely a good pick here.
Green flag, green flag.
Donovan Ross takes it to the high side. Zach's around the bottom. Donovan's going to get a run on him down the backstretch. He's going to pull out into the lead. Definitely carrying some momentum around the top. Zach pulls up there now. Looks like the rest of the field is fighting to get up there. Jeffrey Barker staying around the bottom, running very good lap times.
Yeah, these guys are just hammered down right now, and some good battles back through the field here. You know, the World of Outlaws sprint cars are going to be here in a couple of weeks. I may have to venture on down here to watch that race.
How far you live from this track?
40 minutes from my house. I have to
Nice.
drive. It'd be a little quicker, but I got to drive through the city and whatnot, and you never know what you get driving through. So this is just south of St. Louis. I'm over on more towards the northwest side. So the good news is I got a couple options to eat on my way over. Twisted Tavern, which is a couple X's up in Arnold. Great place to eat. If I get up early enough, if I leave early enough, I can stop at Pappy's, one of the best barbecue joints in the country you'll ever eat at. So there's a lot of cool stuff between here and my house that can get me sidetracked if I'm not careful.
Zach Chapman, followed by Donovan Ross and Jeffrey Barker, your top three. They'll be moving along in that order. How many guys transferred, John? Do we know?
Yeah, I think all 12 did.
You think they all did? Okay.
Yeah, I know they did.
All right, we're going to move into some warm-ups. I'm going to tee up some commercials here. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, the girls are down there selling the tickets. We're up to $612 right now. That 50-50 will be drawn before the feature of the 360s. We'll be right back after a quick break.
race lead off turn 4, white flag in the air. Justin Hare's top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. chance. It goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stopping.
It's all right though. They'll be able to. There's still a little bit. There's a lot more cushion, I think, than what there normally would have been. But yeah, I think we saw the same thing happen though in the UMPs, and I was kind of a little bit worried that these cars with those big right rears would probably chew it up a little quicker, and they had. And I talked to the track prep guys, and they even worked it in a little further backwards, closer to the newer state than what they did for the UMP mods, and looks like we probably even have to go back a little further.
All right, we've got our starting lineup. We're going to start at the back of the field. We got Tater Williams and Bill Henry in row 12, with Doyle Lawrence and Chris Elvey in row 11. Joe Canales and Donald Dory starting 19th and 20th. Bob DeGood and Blake Chapman 18th and 17th. Got Andrew Smith and Jeff Barker in row 8, with Donovan Ross and Zach Chapman. Then we got Pat Boyce and Stephen Bixler, Nicholas Vickery and Brian Moore Sr. in row 5, Preston Cranmer and G.J. Boydell. Then we have Randy Shreves and Kyle Moonen in row 3. Our top 4 starters, Kevin Fry and Jack Clevenger, and then Nathan Aldrich and Andy Patton on the front row.
Well, Andy, you got a big field to pick from. Didn't look like Tater and the Bill Henry gridded, so got a big field to pick from. Who's your pick?
I'm going to take Randy Shreves.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with Kyle Moonen here to see if Kyle can get in there. He's had a couple of rough weeks here in the Hometown Heroes, so let's see if he gets back on track.
And the green flag is out. Andy Patton's going to lead him down into turn 1. Nathan Aldrich moves right up top. Andy Patton runs down in the middle, leaving that top wide open. He's creeping up there. Nope, he's going to stay in the middle. Oh, looks like Aldrich banged off the wall a little bit.
And when you know it, Andy, I picked Kyle Moonen, and he has a packet loss. Oh, man.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, we got one on the side in turn 3 there.
You are bad luck.
I think so. And that was Jeff Barker on his side here. some contact with
Donald Ross.
Yeah, Donovan Ross there, and that's just close quarters racing there. They were just really close, and those wheels touched, and not much either one of them could do at that point.
Now we'll revert to single file restarts here. So they get lined up behind the Steve King Foundation pace truck. Looks like the lights are off. We're going to go into a new feature here. Once we take the green, we're going to roll into a new thing we have. It's Crank It Up, brought to us by Dylan Westbrook Racing.
The yellow flag is out.
Well, John, I jumped on that right front suspension. My GoPro must have been too heavy.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there between Nate Aldridge, who gets a little loose, and then Kevin Fry gets right in the back of him and is on from there.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
And Andy, here we are, getting ready to go green again. Pace truck is off, green flag is out. Andy Patton jumps out to a nice lead going into one. Kevin Fry immediately goes up top. Got to get a good run coming off of turn 2. Everybody jockeying for positions from there on back through the field. Oh, we're going to have another caution over in turn 3. Some contact between Donovan Ross and Blake Chapman, and Blake is on his side. Oh, that's going to be a tough break for that young man from Clarence, Iowa. He's going to have to take a tow there, and I think that was the case, Andy, of just close racing. It looked like Blake got into the corner a little bit hotter than what Donovan did, and they touched, and Blake got the worst of it there. But that gives us a chance to reset the field. Right now, Andy Patton continues to lead as we're under caution. Kevin Fry is going to be starting back in second, followed by Jack Clevenger, Randy Shreves. Nick Vickery is up to P5. Good run for Nick here. Brian Moore Sr. is 6th. Zach Chapman's up to 7th. Steven Bixler looks like maybe 8th. Some of our big movers here as we're getting ready to go back to green. Looks like maybe Zach there, 13th up to 7th. So some guys really making some ground. Blake Chapman was making up ground, but like I said, he had to take a tow here. And we're back green again. And once again, you see Andy Patton to the bottom. You've got Kevin Fry going up top. This field gets strung out behind him. A lot of positions being contested through the field. But right now, we've got a battle shaping up for the lead as Kevin Fry is going to get a run to the outside of Andy Patton down the backstretch into turn 3. Kevin continues to use that top side, and there he is. He's got the lead.
Nice run around the top.
Yeah, had a whole lot of momentum here, and Andy continues to try to make that bottom work. Now Randy Shreves saw Kevin up there, and you know what, I can do that too. And up he goes, and right on by he goes, and he's going to bring Jack Clevenger with him. So let me reset for you. You've got Fry, Shreves, and Clevenger, 1, 2, 3, as we work lap 12 here. Oh, we got another caution. We got another one on its side. Big wreck. Looks like Pat Boyce on his side over in 1 and 2. Looked like Pat got a little loose coming out of turn 4 and kind of was tank slapping it down the straightaway. Got into the wall and kind of got tagged from there a few times as he's rolling through turns 1 and 2 there. Tough break for Pat Boyce. He's also going to have to take a tow. Oh, Andy, it looks like they're getting ready to go green again as the pace truck pulls off in turn 4, and Kevin Fry stands on it.
Nice restart for Fry. Shreves is in second, chasing him, so is Clevenger.
And Nick Vickery is looking to move up also. Restarted 5th, is looking to move into 4th as he now goes to around the outside of Andy Patton.
Clevenger with a slide job on Shreves.
Yeah, and that really bogged them both down as they kind of had to watch out for each other on the crossover coming out of 2. That's going to bring Nick Vickery into this fight for second here. Oh, there's contact with Clevenger into the wall, both of them.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh, slight contact between the two coming out of turn 4 turns them both into the wall. Clevenger coming out with the worst of it. Saw some.
We're not going green. Not going green.
They have to catch up. I saw some contact between Shreves and Chapman. Shreves was trying to turn into the pits, and Chapman got into him. Shreves just braked suddenly. I think these guys under caution are going to have to get used to circling at the top of the track so guys can get on and off pit road without a problem here. I don't know if the drivers have ever been instructed to do that, but might be a good idea going forward.
Oh, there we go. Had some technical difficulties. I had to run down to the truck. Somebody unplugged the cooler.
Pace truck is set to come in, Andy, as it makes the turn off the track, and here we go again. Fry on the pedal.
Green flag.
Fry on the pedal with Vickery right behind him. They're going to jump right up to the top. Patton's down around the bottom. That's going to allow Chapman to get by.
Caution, yellow flag.
Another quick yellow.
Yeah, this one was on Chris Alvey, and we saw Chris have kind of a rough modified race here, and it looks like his night hasn't gotten any better as he's got turned around there in turns 2 there. Looks like he starts to get loose and feathers it. Nate Aldridge kind of helps him around there, which is real easy to do here. Like, doesn't take much to close that gap when somebody gets in trouble.
Well, we got 12 laps to go, John. I think that Kevin Fry looks good out front there.
Yeah, he's going to think I need to talk to him before every race. If he goes on to win here, he's going to think that maybe there's something to do with it. As long as I'm not picking him, I guess if I'm talking to him, I guess that's pretty good, huh? But Rick is in second. It's our old friend Nick Vickery, who did that awesome rap for us. And just a reminder, everybody, you go out there and find and like VMR out there on Facebook for us.
Fry with a nice jump. He's got about a 4-car length advantage going down into 1. Second and third jump right up top to follow him through there.
Yeah, fourth there, Zach Chapman got a little out of shape coming out of 2. Let Andy Patton capitalize and move back into 3rd. Fry has a problem off of 2, and that's going to put Vickery right on his back bumper.
Bumper
For now,
bumper.
inside 10 to go.
They're right there with each other. Vickery putting all kinds of pressure on him. He's trying to get a run down one of the straightaways so he can do a slide job on him. Nice launch off the corner for Fry. Long as he can get that launch off, he's going to be hard to pull a slider on.
Yeah, he sure is. And looking at the track state here, the problem with Nick is going to have to on a slider is he's going to have to drive it really hard, slide up, but on his way up the track, he is going to have to be pedaling it because there's not much of a cushion to catch the car right now to not hit that wall. You got to have something that catches the car other than the wall.
6 to go. Kevin Fry out front. He's starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Nick's now trying to work the bottom. Oh, we got one I heard into the wall on the front straightaway. He's able to keep going. Nick's getting good runs on the bottom on the bottom, but it's unusual to see the top. It almost looks like he can roll the middle better on the top than the bottom. But the launch that he just got on the bottom was really kind of closed the gap a little.
4 to go. We're starting to come up on some lap cars. Shouldn't be a bother. Lap cars running the bottom. They're both running the top.
Yeah, what that's going to do is make it hard for Nick to go down there and try to make any kind of slide job or any last-ditch effort. You got cars down there. That lane kind of becomes closed, so to speak.
Nick Fry, your winner. Kevin Fry. Nick Vickery in second with Zach Chapman and Andy Patton, your top 4. Brian Moore, Stephen Bixler, Doyle Lawrence, Andrew Smith, Preston Cranmer, and Bob DeGood rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, and then finishing 11th is Nathan Aldridge. 12th is Jack Clevenger. 13th, Joe Canellis. Donald Dorian, 14th. 15th is Chris Alvey. 16th, Randy Shreves. And 17th, Greg Boydell. Andy?
And then we got Jeffrey Barker, Donovan Ross, Pat Boyce, Blake Chapman, and Kyle Moonen. Tater Williams and Bill Henry did not take the green.
I tell you, another good run by Zach here. That's 2 for 2 on the podium. I'm sure when we talk to him, he's just going to be over the moon over that. What a good run for him again. Zach, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas?
Well, Bud, hey, you're 2 for 2 putting it on the podium tonight. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm, may have to take a break for a couple weeks. This don't happen too often.
Well, I tell you, once again, you set the track. That one looked a little bit slicker once you guys got rolling than what the modifieds did. You told me earlier you like a slick track. How did you find the sledding here tonight?
I mean, I got lucky on the opening start. The top opened up for me, and I just picking guys off. I started 13th, so 13 to 3rd, I'll take that any day.
Oh, that's a big move. I probably need to look and see. You might have even got hard charger there tonight. Depending on how some of the other leagues may even get a mug. Who knows? But as you're working through there, did you just primarily use the top, or were you able to move around at all?
You could use the bottom a little bit, but primarily the top. It seemed like the bottom was safer. Like, I mean, I got in the wall once or twice. I saw Vickery do it a couple times too. Fry looked like he was all right up there from what I could see, but it was definitely pretty treacherous up top. But if you could do it, it was worth the risk.
Well, we got one more tonight. How do you feel your prospects for that one's going to be?
I don't know. If I finish in the top 5, I'll be happy. But hopefully I'm up here with you guys again.
Well, I hope to see you up here too, man. A good run, second podium, 2 for 2. Anybody you want to give a shout out to once again?
Yeah, shout out to Young Gun Creations, VMR Sprint Wraps, all you guys at Gambler Motorsports. You guys have helped me so much. Brightbox Electrical Services, Cool Ray, Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, and Coast to Coast. I mean, they some of the best drivers in here. I've heard you guys talk about it, but obviously, guys, if you're looking for a league, great place. I've been in a bunch of them, and this is, one of the best shows every night.
Oh, thank you very much. Zach, once again, great job here. Another podium position. That's Zach Chapman, our third place finisher in the 305 sprint cars. Mr. Nick Vickery, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are y'all?
Not too bad. You know what? You got that old 00 up there, one position short there. Talk me through your race there.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. I think this is the first time this season I ran the 305s at hometown, so it was a good race. I wish I could have got a better starting position there for the feature, but did pretty good going from 10th to 2nd. So, me and Kevin were talking there at the beginning of the race, and there at the end of the race, or we were talking there in the waiting room, and there at the end of the race, the top was just extremely, extremely treacherous. And, I play the broadcast in the background while I'm racing, and I heard you guys talking about, different lines. Part of that was trying to find something to make up ground, and part of that was trying not to eat the wall on 1 and 2. I hit it 2 laps in a row and knew I had to do something different if I wanted to keep second. So,
how much did you adjust on that wing, or did you start it all the way in the back? Were you adjusting on your wing too much tonight?
No, I actually started the feature at 0, and then after that first caution, I moved it back to 1. And then as I started, getting around guys on the top, I was just really trying to feel how it felt getting in the corner, because that's really where I noticed it getting real sideways. I didn't really have much of a problem coming off. But there at the end of the race at 1 and 2, if you got in too deep and that right rear made contact with the wall, it was hard to get the car off of it. So I think I ended up finishing the race at 3 or 4 on the wing. So definitely still pretty far forward. I think going into 360s, I think it'll be quite a bit further back.
Yeah, I think so too. But hey, good run tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. Andrew made some pretty good progress tonight and walled up to the field. I think he ended up finishing 8th, so definitely a good run for him. And after that would be SBGC 3D printing. If anybody has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check out Tom Taylor over on Facebook. VMR Wraps, if anybody there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR E-Wraps. After that would be Mirror Image Auto Spa. I got to shout out Cool Ray, Mr. Andy over there. I still got to get his logo on the car somewhere. But and then, Roger and Preston for putting everything together. And then, of course, you guys for putting on a great show every Tuesday.
Oh, thanks again. And thank you again for that. I'm just going to say it this way, but that badass wrap you put on our sprint car and our UMP. Thank you very much once again. And Nick, congratulations on your second place finish. That's Nick Vickery, our second place finisher in the 305s. Well, Kevin, I talked to you a little earlier, and now I'm talking to you again. What's changed since I've talked to you last?
Well, I guess the track did a little bit. Got a little slicker than what I thought.
Oh, and you won a race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wore in pretty quick. I tell you, you started out and you made just a power move to grab that lead on the outside there. Walk me through the last laps. Just how hard was it to hit those marks and keep it off the wall?
Yeah, it was very, very treacherous up there. Like me and him were talking about a while ago. It was very tricky up there towards the end. The beginning of the race wasn't too bad. You can go up there and hammer it down pretty good and slingshot past people. But It was definitely fun. I really hated getting into Nathan in the middle there. Just did not let off fast enough and brake fast enough to keep off from him. I really hate getting into people like that, and especially having a strong run like that. So first and foremost, I want to apologize to him and his team on doing that. So I did not mean to do that at all.
Well, it's close quarters racing, and sometimes that kind of things happen. Good sportsmanship there with the apology. Hey, who would you like to give a shout out to for this great run tonight?
My team, the Firm Motorsports, can't thank them enough as always, supporting me and keeping me going. Can't thank my rap guys, 2-1 Racing Designs, iRacing Designs. Can't thank them guys enough for keeping us sporty and keeping us looking clean.
Well, are you going to run 360s?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Are you adminning it?
Not if I have to. If I do, that's fine. If I don't, I'll be there to run.
Well, I was going to recommend for that practice track state. We can talk offline, but hey, good run tonight. What a great victory you had there. Dominating performance. Congratulations again. That's Kevin Fry, our 305 feature winner.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Congratulations, Kevin. All right.
Thank you, Andy.
We're going to move into get everything set up, let them do some track prep before we bring out the 360s. We are going to pay some bills, run some ads, and maybe even run down and grab a couple more beers. We got a long night ahead of us, John. We've also got $849 in the 50-50. And we got little Cody Jennings. Looks like his grandpa brought him over from Wichita, Kansas tonight to watch the races. He is our junior fan club winner, and he's down getting a picture taken with Kevin Fry down on front stretch there in Victory Lane. So don't forget to sign up. You could be one of our junior fan club winners. Yes, John, you're too old. You need to be 12 or under.
I think that's ageism, isn't it? I don't know. I'm a fan. I should get something. These guys make it easy to be a fan. A lot of good drivers to choose from.
I don't think you or me qualify for junior anything.
This is true.
We'll be right back, folks.
I miss the days of getting carded.
turn 4, white flag in the air. Justin Hare's top shelf where Mama hides the cookie. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Jantic. Jantic goes by clear.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly like a life of the car.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
All right, welcome back, race fans. As we get ready for our 360 sprint cars, we got John Hine out on the track. He's in the coast-to-coast VMR Wrap E-Extreme Speed, I don't know what we call it, our chase car. Sprint car. He's out there turning some laps. Give us a little feedback. What's going on out there, John?
Well, right now the track is used up like what we'll see in the feature, and I want to show you guys something here really interesting. On the bottom, we'll talk about how you have to hit your marks. Look at the width of this tack. It's maybe a car length and a car width and a half. It does not take much to get down here, and these cars are going to have a whole lot of power, which makes it easier. If you're up here in the slick, if you get in too much, that back end's just going to want to rotate on around. I think once again you're going to see guys really struggling to be down here, but there's so much tack. Look when you come out of the corner here. If you can keep it on the bottom, look at the tack for the launch that you'll get. You can utilize all that and just get right through the center of the straightaway into your next corner. But you got to get it loaded up to be down here. And now that you've got more power, the other part that's going to be a little bit more difficult is up here, Andy. Running the top is going to be very, very difficult. Guys are going to have to watch and just use a lot of throttle control. Like right now, I am out of the throttle. I'm still rolling, barely goosing it. I'm not even full power. I don't even get the gas all the way back into the gas anywhere on the straightaway. I would say that I'm probably through the corner here in the center. I'm probably about 15, maybe 20% on the gas, maybe up to 60, 65, 70 on the straightaway, maybe a little bit more. And I could probably get a little bit more here, but trying to talk, drive, and not hit the wall at the same time, a little bit difficult. So these guys are going to have a heck of a challenge here tonight.
Right on, John. Thanks for that, John. That's a pretty cool perspective that we haven't had before. We're wrapping up practice. We're going to move right into qualifying. Qualifying tonight, brought to us by ABR Setup Shop.
Yeah, and I'm back on track, Andy, and we just saw the track slick. If you come now and look at this track, anybody that's just tuning in, this track now is basically brand new, what we call fresh track, heavy track, a lot of different terms for it. We saw in this last race, guys fighting for the bottom here. The problem now is, you're going to think it's the same mindset, but not with these cars. These cars, you don't want to choke them down here. You can actually use your momentum. I think you're going to see guys start maybe a whole lane higher than what you did with the 305s, but you're going to see this track widen out a lot quicker. I will bet you by the end of the heats, this all the way up here is going to be where guys are in this top lane and a half. I think it'll widen that quick. We didn't see that until, once we got into the B feature, but I don't even think we'll get out of the heats before you see guys venturing up the track like that.
Got Nick Vickery out on the track now, getting his qualifying lap in. He's going to be P6. Blake Chapman's on the pole right now with a 1081. Clevenger's in second, Pendleton in third, Zach Chapman in fourth.
And you mentioned Nick. Once again, we do want to give him a shout out for doing up the sprint car for our broadcast, and what a nice job he did. And again, just encourage anybody to go out to VMR Wraps out there on Facebook and share and give him a like and a nice contribution here to our broadcast.
Randy Shreves moves up into P2 with the exact same time as Blake Chapman. But since Blake turned it first, he'll get the fast time for the night. Looks like we got about 3 more cars to wrap up. Oh, look at there. Kevin Fry moves up to the top of the podium at 10.80.
Kevin will be looking to double up tonight. He was, of course, our 305 feature winner from just a little bit earlier this evening. Blake Chapman got into some trouble there in that 305 race. He is definitely going to be looking to recover and rebound and turn his night around here. And Kyle Moonen had some technical issues. We're not going to blame it on anybody picking him, but some technical issues. I think I saw lost packets. He's up there amongst the fastest guys. So we've got some guys that their nights didn't get off to a good start, but it looks like they are starting to turn them around here with some quick times.
Absolutely.
The gun has sounded on qualifying, and they're going to start lining up the heats, Andy.
Yep, we're going to move right into heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 brought to us by Magnum Race Designs. We got Nick Vickery and Ryan Pendleton starting on the front row. Donovan Ross and Kevin Fry are fast time qualifier starting 4th. And then Bill Henry, Nathan Aldrich starting 5th and 6th with Doyle Lawrence and John. Well, you're out there goofing around. I almost put you in the race.
Well, they did. It's because sometimes I'm just not as quick as I used to be and didn't get myself DQ'd in time. So these guys are going to have to sit here for about another minute and 15. At least they'll get some heat in their car, and we get to blabber on here for a little bit, blabber on a little bit. But this is going to be an interesting heat race here to watch and see how the groove widens and how quickly it does. But we've got some heavy hitters here. I mean, Nick Vickery was second in that last race. Kevin Fry, who was first, both of those guys are in this race. Of course, you can't sleep on Pendleton or Donovan Ross. Both of those guys showed some strength in the last race. Or Donovan did. Brian, I don't think, was in there, but Donovan did before he found some trouble. And they're sitting on the grid, Andy, and they're got to be strapped in here. And the first thing you notice too when you get to the gas here when they come around the green is this car has got a lot more power than that 305.
Yes, it does, and you see that a lot of times. It's a lot easier to pitch it sideways and lose it too.
Yeah, it is, and as you start to get slick spots on the corner, and we always talk about the track getting slick in the feature where it's black from the top to the bottom, and that happens. Well, as the night progresses, there's slick spots that will come up on the track, and some of them are like right on turning, and all of a sudden you'll cross that slick strip on turning, and all of a sudden your car will kick out there. Or if maybe you're running a little bit of a slider line, you'll come across the slick line. And that stuff, through the second, third, and heat race, as long as and then the B, that can really play a factor. Some guys can get out of shape or get themselves in trouble real easy, and without the track being full slick like we talk about in the feature.
Absolutely. All right, Steve King Foundation Pace Truck brings them around. He'll be pulling off going into turn 3.
Who's your pick, Andy?
I am going to take I'll take Nick Vickery. Stephen King Foundation Pace Truck will be pulling off as we head into turn 3.
I'm going to go with the guy with the hot hand here and go with Kevin Fry here on the outside. He's already 1 for 1 tonight. We'll see if he can put her in the show here.
Here we go. We fire off. Vickery right in the middle.
Now already these guys are way further up the track in Heat 1 than they were in the 305.
Pendleton's going to cross him over.
Just from the eyeball test, you can see the speed difference between the two cars, and Pendleton's got a nice lead running a nice line here, and Vickery's trying to figure out a way to get around him as the laps click down here. Just a reminder, we take the top 4 straight to the A main, and the top 4 are pretty well nose to tail, kind of strung out. No one really challenging too much here. And they've separated themselves from the last 3 cars on the track here. Two to go here. Ryan Pendleton continues to show the way with Nick Vickery sitting second. Kevin Fry third, and Donovan Ross into the wall in turn 3. We don't have caution, so now all of a sudden we have a fight for the final transfer position between Nathan Aldridge and Doyle Lawrence at the line, and I don't know who got who there.
It was Doyle Lawrence got the spot.
No, Nate did. We got Nate at 4. We got Ryan first.
Nate Aldridge did. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, not by a whole lot there. From my seat, I couldn't see who got to the line first, and what a heartbreak for Donovan Ross. He is going to go to the B main here tonight.
Everybody stood up, and I dropped my churro, and I had to go down to get that, and I didn't see the finish. All right.
Yeah.
Lineup for heat race number 2. We got Brian Moore on the pole with Zach Chapman to his outside. Kyle Moonen and Blake Chapman in row 2. John Rayner and Pat Boyce in row 3, and Steven Bixler bringing up the rear. Who's your pick?
Oh boy, that second row is looking pretty mighty, but the track is still got a lot of tack. I'm gonna go with Zach. I'm gonna take Zach here. He's had 2 podiums tonight. He's got a little bit of a hot hand coming in here. A lot of confidence. I think Zach will be the guy to beat here.
All right, I'm going to take Blake. $789 on the 50-50.
We eligible for that?
I don't know why not.
Another capacity crowd here too, so just all around a good venue and a good community here that supports this track out here in Peevely, Missouri.
Absolutely. All right, Steve King Foundation pace car pulls in, and we're gonna fire him off.
Green flag.
Nice even start. Zach Chapman goes to the top. Oh, Moonen in the middle, gets into Zach, puts him up into the wall.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for both those guys. I wonder if Moonen got any damage. That was a pretty hard hit.
Battle for second seems to be the best race on the track.
Yeah, Greg Moore has got a pretty good lead here, and yeah, the battle for second, third, and fourth. Oh, and Moore, we got one into the wall down the front stretch there. Yep.
Good battle for second. Blake Chapman pulls down, trying to make up some room on Moonen, not able to.
Yeah, and here we go for the lead. At the line. It's Kyle Moonen on a last corner pass on Brian Moore.
Good race. Whoop. What he's doing there. Moving right along, we're going to move into our next heat race. Brought to us by Chip Banger Racing. John, you want to go with the lineup for this one?
Yeah. Here we go. On the pole is going to be the number 1 of Joe Canellis. Next to him will be the 014 of the Ironman, Greg Boydell. Second row is going to be the 78 of Jack Clevenger and the 56 of Randy Shreves. Starting in the final row will be Jeff Barker in the 513 and the number 7 of Bob DeGood. It looks like Bob Curtis will actually be on the very back there, starting 7th in the 012 car. Well, Andy, who you got on this one?
I'm going to take Randy Shreves.
We'll go with Boydell here. The outside front row, it seems like that outside front row has been getting some good launches here. So we'll see how this goes. Last guy I picked got got a little bit, had some contact early on, so hopefully I don't jinx Boydell here. Joe Canellis gets off to a great start, able to slide up in front of Boydell. Boydell had to check up not to run into the back of him here. And, we got some trouble out of turn 4 with Jeff Barker and the 012 car. But we got a great battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Jack Clevenger continues to lead. You got Joe Canellis sitting 2nd. Boydell 3rd and Randy Shreves 4th. Boy, these guys are just flying through the center of these corners, Andy. Jack Clevenger continues to lead, but the battle is heating up for 2nd. Here we go. Yeah, he does. He seems, he might actually be the fastest guy on the track from the looks of it. Oh, and some contact between Boydell and Shreves. Boydell kind of pitched it in a little bit, and Shreves kind of caught him. That's going to give some separation to the top 4. Now Boydell catches the back wall there. On the last lap, going to open that up for Bob DeGood to sneak in there and get a transfer position.
Good race. Man, they were, is it just getting really slick up around that top? It seemed like it was pretty treacherous.
Yeah, I remember what I said just a little while ago about some slick patches. I'm looking at the track state, and now there's just, you don't have that solid slick line like you would in a feature. You have little spots, and if you've got your wheel turned and you hit those, it can really upset your car a little bit. And I think maybe that might be what might be happening.
Right on. Well, we got our B feature brought to us by Flatline Racing Bodies. Starting 9th will be Bob Curtis in the 12 car. Stephen Bixler starting 8th in the 75. Donovan Ross starting 7th in the 5 car. GJ Boydell in the 014 just came out of that last heat, was having a nice run, got into some problems. And he'll have John Rayner on his inside and starting 5th. Bill Henry and Jeffrey Barker in row 2, and our front row, Zach Chapman on the outside with Doyle Lawrence on the pole.
Well, Andy, I'm going to hate to do this to him, but I'm going to pick Zach for this one.
Poor guy.
I know Zach listens to the broadcast as he drives, and so there's a little bit of delay, so it'll probably be about lap 2 or 3. He's going to hear this and go, oh, man.
I'm going to go with Jeffrey Barker.
I run with Jeff in the Renegades on Monday nights, and that's definitely a good pick, too. He's a solid driver. And I think the track conditions actually are going to suit his style because I think he's going to be able to use that bottom quite a bit here. And as soon as they turn him loose,
Lights are off on top of the pace car. We'll fire on the green.
Green, green, green.
Lawrence slides up in front of Zach. Zach's going to come down underneath.
oh, Doyle had a big run coming out of turn 3. We got a battle heating up for second between Donovan Ross now and Zach Chapman.
Nice move by Donovan. Just drove right by Zach.
Yeah, Donovan is fast. He's got that car on a rail for this B main. Gonna see a slide job here. He's gonna pull up in front of him as they come out of the corner. Oh, they almost both made contact to get out of it. Zach, that's gonna put him right back in the fight here for the lead.
Donovan Ross recovers. That car is fast, John.
Yeah, it is. Donovan and oh boy, Zach in an accident. I ain't picking anybody anymore. That's it. Picking the pace car from here on out.
Well, that's going to put Donovan Ross with 2 to go. He's coming down for the white flag.
Oh, and the second got nailed. Oh my gosh. It looked like a car was turning around on the track and just obliterated almost half the field.
Well, we got 3 cars running.
Yeah, I'm like looking back here to see what happened. They're getting ready to do the warm-up. The warm-up's only at 3 minutes. Ooh, we've been running 5 all night.
We're going to stay here with them through this intermission.
All right.
Intermission is brought to us
wow.
by Oswegan Speedway. Did you go back and take a look at that, John?
I did. And before I say what happened, here's the thing about RB features. There's no cautions. So if you get turned around, you've got to take care of trying to get yourself, turned back around, use your relative and all that. But when you've got cars on the track at speed, that's going to be very difficult to do because even though your relative could show the 6-7 seconds back up the track, they're on you like in 1 or 2. And John Rayner and Zach got together again, and John was at the bottom of the track and tried to turn around and turned right up into the battle for second. Took a few guys out. Looking at this track state already, a nice slick line is starting to form going into 1, and seeing it also into 3. I'm thinking this 3-minute warm-up with these 360s anyway. I don't know that this will work with the 305s not having the power that these guys do. I'm going to think, Andy, we're going to see a pristine racetrack. And usually when I say pristine, not brand new, but pristine to race on when this thing goes green here.
Poor Zach.
Yeah, I picked him and the wheels came off.
He's wrecked 3 times in these warm-ups. I just don't.
I'm gonna have to go down after the race and then, apologize to No End and ask him not to quit gambling. I think at this point.
Big wreck. We got a big pile. There's another big wreck. We got wrecks all over the place. Hopefully they're getting it out. Hopefully they're getting it out of their system.
Yeah, and this is really a good time to push the limits. Go in there, hold it open, find out where that limit is. So when we go green here, you're ready to go.
All right, we're going to move into our Dirt Car Racing Series lineup.
Good group of good looking cars here.
Yeah, it is. All right, we're going to start with the front row tonight. We got Ryan Pendleton on the pole with Kyle Moonen on his outside. Jack Clevenger and Nicholas Vickery in row 2. Brian Moore and Joe Canales in row 3. Kevin Fry, the 305 feature winner tonight, with Blake Chapman on his outside. Randy Shreves and Nathan Aldrich in row 5. Pat Boyce and Bob DeGood in row 6.
Row 7 looks to be Donovan Ross. Next to him will be
Bill Henry.
Yep, Bill Henry.
We got Bob Curtis and G.J. Boydell. And then we got Jeffrey Barker and John Rayner in row 9. Zach Chapman and Doyle Lawrence in row 10. And Steven Bixler starting shotgun on the field.
And it doesn't look like Bill Henry is going to make the start. That's why I kind of hesitated right after Donovan there. That spot was empty, and I'm looking down and like he's lost his packets, which in iRacing terms for those listening means that your connection went awry and it yanks you out of the server, which that's nothing the driver can do at that point. I've had it happen myself. Anybody that's been on iRacing for probably more than a day or so has probably had that happen. All right, Andy, real fast. Who's your pick?
Nick Vickery.
All right, I'm picking the pace car. I'm not jinxing anybody else.
They fire off. It's going to be Pendleton on the bottom with Moonen on the outside.
Wow, they are side by side through the field. This is a heck of a start for the race. I'm looking at the track conditions, Andy. These guys have options here for a little bit. This track's going to wear in rapidly, as I-55 does here. Pendleton out front, Moonen second, Clevenger third. But you see Pendleton, you're using that bottom. We got a caution. Oh, a few of them end over there in turn 1. Oh man, it's Zach again and some other guys.
Do you think that's still carrying over from you picking him?
No, it's absolutely not. No, he was touched by John Rayner into the corner and got him out of shape, and then up into Pat Boyce, and over they went. And
I think I'm going to ask him that question.
No. Nobody needs to ask Zach anything at this point.
That's funny.
And a non-related story next week might be the headline: Zach, joined Spartan or Bandy or something. I don't know. I'm done picking.
All right, pace car's in. Oh, there we go. Moonen almost jumped the start. He had to back off. Clevenger with a big run on Moonen for second. Moonen's going to cross him back over.
Yellow flag is out.
And that one was brought out by John Rayner trying to get into the pits and met the tire, and the tire won. But to John's credit, he just didn't stop on the track to get out, and we've seen a couple of guys do that over the last couple of weeks, so you got to give him full credit. I honestly think if you're going to pull off here, the best bet, if you're, unless you're getting fixed, I guess, but if you're pulling off to call it a night, just pulling that back, down that backstretch wall and pull in there.
Where's Roger tonight? Why is he not running?
Roger, I saw in a text somewhere in one of the chains I'm in with him, he said he's going up north. Well, Roger's in Canada. How much more north can you get is my question. I guess he's going to see Santa Claus or whomever, and we do hope Roger, wherever he is, had a safe trip up and is enjoying himself. I hope he's enjoying the races here tonight, and I think he'll be back next week.
That doesn't even make sense to go up north from there.
That's what I thought too when I read it, and I was like, well, what do I know?
All right, got a good restart. Pendleton dives down to the bottom. Clevenger with a nice run on the top.
Yeah, these guys don't seem to be making up any ground on Pendleton up high. That bottom is really holding true here. I don't know where that one came from. Oh, John Rayner pulled out on the track and didn't go there on the backstretch, trying to let the field go out, and brings out that caution there. So, I mean, good news is nobody wrecks and no damage to their cars, but bad news, we're going to slow them down once again. But I really like the fact that the crews got out and reworked this track, because we're seeing two different lanes work. It's not just a fight to see who can get up top here. And, Pendleton is really working that top line, or the bottom line, just really well. If you remember earlier when I was in car, I was showing how wide that tack is. That's only, at this point looking at it, is almost just a car width.
Green, green, green. Caution, yellow flag.
Pendleton out to a big jump that time.
Yeah, but they threw the caution again. I don't even know what for. We're lucky we didn't have a big pileup, because I could hear the caution waving, even though the track lights are green, and I'm looking back. Oh, nope, I found the caution. Caution looks to be on Bob Curtis there, but I don't think that was the caution, because I heard caution, and I had it on my screen before they crossed the start-finish line. But Bob Curtis got into a little bit of trouble there in turn one and just tipped the car over without actually being hit to turn it over. And that definitely would have been a caution. Weird. Pace truck pulls in again. We're going to send them off again. And once again, Pendleton takes him right off the bottom, gets a good start. Jack Clevenger immediately goes up high in turn one. Kyle Moonen now has moved down to the bottom, but maybe a lane higher than what Pendleton is. Yeah, and now looks like Moonen's really struggling on that bottom. Is probably going to go back up to the top, which he does. Lost a couple positions there. Another caution here. Had a big wreck over there in looks like turn 3 there, maybe with Doyle Lawrence. I know that was Donovan Ross there. He kind of clipped that crossover gate on the back stretch there and kind of got bounced around and turned around there and took out a couple guys there. And we heard Kevin Fry in an interview earlier talk about, that crossover gate kind of being a little bit of an obstacle that you got to kind of work around here when you're running.
Well, we got 17 to go, John. Do you think that bottom's going to hold up for him?
I really don't know. I'm surprised right now how well he's running it.
Not going green.
I would like to see it continue to hold up, so maybe we get a drag race out of turn 4 to the start-finish line. But the fact that I'm only seeing a couple guys down there, because when Kyle went down there, he stayed a lane higher. I think some guys are not all the way down on the wall like what Pendleton is, and whatever he's doing in the car is keeping him in the tack, and he's utilizing it and just getting these great runs out of the corner, and it's keeping him up front.
Green flag, green flag.
All right, he hits that bottom once again. Does not look like they're making up any ground. Oh, he's going to move up top. I'm not sure he needed to do that.
No, but he sure is moving up there, so he must have not. Unless we got another wreck here in the front stretch.
It just took him out of his entire rhythm.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When you move like that, you need a lap or two to get your wits about you and where to lift and how hard to get back in the throttle and then. Oh, the caution looks like it's on Doyle Lawrence and Bob Curtis there. Looked like Curtis just lost the back end coming out of the corner and then had to walk it down the track, and then Doyle was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
All right, 15 to go. I'll ask again. I think he's got to stay to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a whole car width down there, and he might do that after going up top. And like I said, that caution saved him because he got really out of shape coming out of 2. We'll see here as the green's about to come out. Right back up top he goes. He must have decided there's just not enough down there. And that's most where everybody has gone now is up to the top. You got a few guys mid-pack, and looks to be another caution.
Another yellow.
This one looks to be on Greg Boydell here. I think he's probably going to be a victim. That track through the center is slick. Nope. Looked like he got in the corner, was trying to take it easy, and the 75 of Bixler kind of got in there a little bit harder than what he did, and then they got together there, and around went Boydell. I almost have to wonder what, because we haven't had cautions like this, but it makes me wonder just a little bit if the fact that the track got reworked, so all of a sudden these guys just didn't go right to the top from the get-go, and, we're able just to establish a rhythm. The track wore in, so where they're racing now is completely different where they were racing at the beginning of this. what you were doing on lap as we get the green flag again, and then Pendleton is off to a good start with Clevenger followed by Vickery. But, you're not doing anything the same that you were doing at the beginning of the race. You're lifting at a different point. You're getting back in the gas lighter than what you did. And you cannot be doing the same thing. And that might have caught some guys out. Some guys are going to have to learn to adjust a little bit. And to me, that makes it a lot more interesting. Kyle Moonen caught the crossover gate. Oh, he didn't even make it to the crossover gate. He hit the wall before that and onto his side. And looks like Bob did good. Maybe somebody else kind of got into it a little bit in the back there.
I see a couple wrecking in the background there, too.
Yeah, they probably saw Kyle, and then one probably lifted to see where he was going. And, sometimes you can't necessarily see through somebody in front of you. But, yeah, some tough sledding here. And we're looking at the track, and it looks tough now from the top to the bottom. And you really have to almost drive like you have an egg, under your pedal.
Not going green.
Bob DeGood looks like he's going to continue on without a front wing. Steven Bixler and Kyle Moonen have loaded up and call it a night, and probably going to be headed out to I-55 here a little bit.
Yep, so since Pendleton moved up, Clevenger was able to pull a slider on him. They crossed over and went back to the order they're in. I still think there's, especially these first 2 laps on a restart, I would suggest running the bottom, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't either. If he went high this last time, I think he's going to stay up there, and that's exactly what he does. Shreves is the first one checking the bottom. And Shreves gets a great launch off the bottom, but he can't hold it down there in 3 and 4.
The yellow flag is out.
And this one will be on, it looks like maybe Bob Curtis trying to squeak in the pits there in turns 3 and 4.
I tell you, Nick Vickery had a nice run from his 3rd position there on that restart.
Yeah, he sure did. And, yeah, I think your options are going to be limited, but these starts is a good opportunity if you can get through a corner or 2, because usually it takes guys a lap or 2 to kind of settle back in. If you can do it quickly, you could probably get up here and snag another spot. Yeah, I see Moonen and Bixler, their haulers are definitely packed up and leaving, and they'll head up I-55. And Andy, there's a new restaurant up there that you might recognize, not too far off the beaten path. That's fast food, but still good eating. But they just put a Zaxby's up there.
Ah, yes, we have a lot of those here in Georgia.
Green, green, green.
Yep.
All right, Pendleton gets off, gets another good start. Clevenger, somebody looped it around back there. Looked like Fry.
Yeah, got just a small tap in the back there. I don't know if he got loose, but got a tap in the back from Blake Chapman, and then Fry nudged it into the inside wall there out of turn 2. Yeah, these guys are having a handful here tonight. Yeah, I'm going to chalk this up into the fact that the track has just constantly changed. They started on a pretty good track that had a lot of tack. They probably were probably not full throttle all the way around, but probably 90-95% on the throttle in the corners, and now you're probably all the way down to 30, 40 maybe to get through the corner. And even the straightaway, you're not even getting full throttle. You're probably only going about 70, maybe 80% tops on the throttle down the straightaways. So that's a major, major difference from where we started.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Green flag.
As we go back green, but yeah, we'll have to ask our podium finishers about that. The changing track conditions, get their 2 cents on it. Once again, though, Pendleton off with a strong start. Clevenger hangs on to second. Vickery is solidly in third here, and they're starting to already get a little separation from Reed Shreves there in fourth.
Oh!
The yellow flag is out.
That was our leader, John.
Yeah, it was. I'm going back here taking a look to see what happened. Oh my gosh. Talk about changing the race. Did you guys, Andy, were you able to get the replay?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just say a picture says 1,000 words there.
Yep, we'll just let that play. I'm not gonna set up here 6 beers in and make that call.
Yeah, no, it's the thing that sucks about that, and the track conditions are really slick, and the cars do move around a little bit, but I'll bet you that's going to be one that Clevenger will probably like to have back. But that is going to reset the field. That's going to put Jack up front there in the 78, followed by Nick Vickery in the 00. Going to move Randy Shreves up into third here, and Blake Chapman has snuck his way all the way up to fourth. We're getting ready to turn him loose here with about 4 laps to go. Boy, Andy, this is go time.
Clevenger jumps on the loud pedal. He's got about a 5-car advantage down into 1. Vickery follows him in there. Shreves in the middle of the track. Chapman on the bottom.
Boy, Vickery is all over the tail tank of that 78 car. Nick's taking a look to the inside here. We've got laps winding down. Nick got up to the side of him, but Clevenger is able to get that run off the top. At this point, Nick is throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, trying to figure out how to get around him. Clevenger's got to be careful to be making sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Like we've pointed out, track is really, really treacherous here. White flag. Sorry, that's the race.
Clevenger holds on to the win ahead of Nick Vickery, Randy Shreves, Blake Chapman, Donovan Ross. Your top 5.
Real quick here before we pull him up here, let me give a full field rundown here. Jack Clevenger does go on to win here with Nick Vickery finishing second. Randy Shreves is third to round out our podium. Finishing fourth is going to be Blake Chapman. Donovan Ross is going to finish fifth. Brian Moore Sr. is going to come home sixth. Seventh, Jeffrey Barker. Eighth, Nathan Aldridge. Ninth is going to be Joe Canellis. 10th will be Kevin Fry. Finishing 11th is going to be Bob DeGood. After him is going to be Greg Boydell. Then we're going to see Patrick Boyce come home in 13th. John Rayner, 14th. Ryan Pembleton going to have to be the hard luck driver of the night. Led a good majority of the race and just got taken out at the end there. And he's going to come home 15th. Kyle Moonen, who loaded up early and is going to finish 16th. Same thing with Stephen Bixler in 17th. Doyle Lawrence is going to be in 18th. Zach Chapman, 19th. Bob Curtis, 20th. And William Henry comes home 21st. Randy, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you, John.
Well, that was probably the most difficult track conditions I've seen yet this season. How sketchy was it out there?
Oh man, it was super sketchy. I was just talking with the guys about how slick it was out there. It's just you can't get any traction anywhere. You gotta try to find them little dry spots and try to make it work. And then yeah, it's pretty
I,
difficult.
Well, I was going to say, let me ask you this because that was the first time that you guys done this with the reworked track, and the track conditions, obviously, when you took the green flag, vastly different from when the end. Do you think that may have added to the difficulty, the fact that you guys had a good deal of tack for the first, maybe 10 laps or so, and then it just started going away, and constantly having to adjust the rising level of, I hate to say that, like, rising level of slickness? I guess that's the best way I could put it. Do you think that maybe that had a little bit to do with it, or was it just tough from like lap 10 on?
I think it could have had something to do with it just because, we were, full throttle out there in practice, and then come to the feature, it, slicked off really, really quick. And it definitely takes a lot of adjusting to get used to a slick track.
Yeah, it does there, and you did a great job able to hold on there, and it was one of the few times where I kind of always wanted to be out there running with you guys, but watching those conditions tonight, I was glad I had my butt up here having a beer, watching you guys run. You guys did a great job up front there in keeping it off the wall. Did you have any kind of oh no moments where you thought, okay, this is it?
Oh yes, and I know exactly the one with Kyle Moonen. I guess he kind of lost it, and I had nowhere to go. I hit him. I thought that my car was toast after that, but I just got a little bit of nose wing damage and managed to get my position back, luckily. But yeah, that was one of them moments.
Those code brown moments, as I call them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I tell you, yeah, you know what, Randy, you did a great job tonight, finishing third on the podium here. And anybody you'd like to give a shout out for a good run here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Alex Bergeron at ABR Setup Shops, Coulter West at Redline Race Design for always making my car look good. One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography, Coast to Coast for this awesome league, and everybody in the with the broadcast, and everybody for watching.
Well, Randy, congratulations again on a nice podium position. Good points night too. On top of that, so good luck your next race. I don't know if do you run the 410s tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, good luck in the 410s tomorrow. That is Randy Shreves, our third place finisher in the 360s here tonight. Now I'm going to bring in our second place finisher, the 00 of Nick Vickery. Nick, I was just talking with Randy. How sketchy would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you put it? The track conditions.
I don't know. I mean, I struggle really, really bad when the track is really, really tacky in these cars. And, I don't qualify well. And luckily tonight I hit the invert. But, yeah, I mean, once the track slicked off, I definitely felt like I was fast. It's just some nights you have long green flag runs, and some nights you have caution after caution. And tonight was just one of those nights where we had caution after caution.
Yeah, and I had asked Randy, and I'm going to ask you now. We did something different that we haven't done in the past, where we had the track go out and rework the track, and that meant the track that you guys started that feature on was vastly different than what you finished on. Do you think that maybe added to some of the difficulty, of forcing guys to constantly adjust?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, maybe guys, when they start the race, they see how tacky the track is, and then the track just changes really, really fast. Especially with these cars, with all the power they have, they move a lot of dirt. So, once the track starts slicking off, then it does become pretty one lane dominant. Which we saw. I don't even remember the guy's name.
Ryan Pendleton.
Yep, Ryan Pendleton. He was making the bottom work there in the beginning, and there at the end, he moved up to the top, and I agree with that move. The top was definitely the fastest at the end, and yeah, I mean, just trying something different. Maybe going into next week we'll try different. Either I think having the shorter warm up helped here in the 360s. Because we reset it to 0, and there was still a decent amount of slick going into the feature at only 3 minutes. So, if we make it go the whole 5, then the track would have been a lot slicker than it was. So, I think it's a good move to try to change the track state here at the beginning, and then maybe even look at changing the warm up times. Obviously you guys got to have some time to pay the bills, but have to see how it looks going into next week.
Absolutely. Well, once again, another podium here, Nick. Good run. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing, number one. I didn't have anybody here with me in the 360s, but we still brought home a podium, one spot shy, but carry that momentum going into next week, and maybe we'll move up one spot in a couple of those races. But after that will be SBGC 3D printing. If anybody out there has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check out Mr. Tom Taylor over on Facebook. VMR Wraps. If anybody out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. Mirror Image Auto Spa, Mr. Andy over at Cool Ray, and Roger Preston for keeping everything together. And then, of course, you guys for putting on a great show.
Well, thanks a lot, Nick, and congratulations again on the runner-up. That's Nick Vickery, our runner-up in our 360 division here tonight. And that's going to bring me to our race winner, Jack Clevenger. Jack, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Well, man, I've asked the other two guys. The track really looked like it got pretty slick there. Scale of 1 to 10, how sketchy was that track tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was sketchy, but definitely no excuse for the move I pulled there on Ryan. I want to apologize to him. I just kind of had a run and didn't know what to do with it and did the wrong thing with it, and I apologize to Ryan for that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring the elephant in the room up next here. Didn't want to come out of the gate and start drilling you on that. And yeah, we watched the replay. That was a tough deal there, and to defend you a little bit, you know what? Those cars were moving an awful lot on the track. You're trying to hold the line and stuff like that, even trying to bail a little bit. So just a really tough break. I'm sure that he's not happy about it. And I'm sure that maybe some text might be exchanged a little later. But other than that, tell me about being up on that wall there. You were one of the ones that seemed to go up there early and stayed with it. How much did just the cushion itself change through the race?
At the beginning there, you could run it real hard, enter hard on it, and then I find myself, midway through the race cheating entry, and then kind of easing out of the throttle on the way out. It'll suck you in and right up into the fence there. It just gets rougher and rougher throughout the night.
Yeah, I saw that. You were one. Now that you say that, you were one of the few that I always call them like mini slider lines, where you kind of cut that first part of the corner off and then slide up there. And that you were the only one that was doing that, and I think really actually making that work, because the runs you were getting off the corners were just fantastic. Just out of curiosity, how much throttle were you at on the straightaways? You ever get to full throttle?
Yeah, I can't control myself enough not to. Straightaways are for going. So I mean, I'm probably half throttle coming out of the corner, and then for just a quick second, I mean, I shouldn't be there, but I get to full throttle for sure.
Well, hey, you're sitting here with the trophy, so it must not have been too bad. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Keith and Donovan and all the guys at Redeem Racing and whatnot. Just once again, I want to apologize to Ryan there. I didn't mean to get into him like that, and didn't want to race him like that or pick up the win that way.
That's good sportsmanship there shown by you with the apology, Jack. And congratulations again on the win. And we'll see you next week here, and hopefully you can double up.
Thanks, John. Thanks for the broadcast and the C2C for the host.
Hey, thanks for the great show we got to watch tonight. That's Jack Clevenger, our winner in the 360 Sprint Car Division.
John, I just realized we forgot to do the 50-50 before the feature. It ended up right at $836. Yeah, I was going to let it roll over, but everybody got upset with me. So real quick, if you got a blue...
We could take and go up to Twisted T up there.
Blue ticket, 749163. That's 749163. That's off the blue ticket. All right, John, another great night here at I-55. Man, it's been a good season here. What are we moving up on? About a third of the way through it now, are we?
Yeah, something like that. We'll have to start focusing on points here next week and talking about those, and because guys are going to get to the point now where they're looking at those points and counting them up, and maybe being a little more conservative, or maybe having to push a little bit more to make up some ground.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we'll definitely have the point standings next week to share with everybody. We'll get them updated. We like to wait a couple, 3 weeks, let them get into the season. But yeah, that'll be good. We'll definitely have those next week. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. We'll have to announce our 50-50 winner. I'm going to sit here and wait for the winner, but we're going to end the broadcast. So I just want to thank everybody that showed up tonight. All the drivers that put on a great event. Thank my partner John for another great job. Man, can't thank Nick enough over at VMR Wraps for those 2 cars that he put together for us. That's going to be a neat feature as we move through the season, John.
Absolutely. Like I said, just a complete badass wrap, those cars. I almost want him to slap a 71 on it and make that my primary paint there. That he did a nice job on them.
Absolutely. So, hey, on behalf of Extreme eSpeed TV, your coast-to-coast racing league, your coast-to-coast racing network, and all of our great sponsors, this is Andy Piercefield and John Hine. We'll see you on down the road.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.